We good? Okay, I'll call our meeting to order for AFAB. And this is a meeting of the Board of Directors of AFAB on November 20th of 2025. It is now 3:15. We had problems getting the audio rolling, and so we now have the live stream going. The very first item on our agenda is to review the minutes, and the minutes were from September 2nd of 2022. And you have those minutes in front of you.
I don't know how to fill in the blank at the top, but other than that, I'll move for approval. If that's what you want.
Mark, would you have notes of who the other person was?
I doubt it. I don't know. I'd have to take me a while to find him.
No?
No. It wouldn't have been anybody except us and James.
Well, it says Chris.
Chris was there, and
Yeah, okay. And what does it say? Somebody else?
In blank.
Let's.
There's nobody else, I
Let's
think.
just fill that blank in, one other person. Because I wouldn't have put a blank there if there wouldn't have been somebody there.
Oh, really? Gosh, who would that have been?
If I knew their name, I would have put it in.
I wonder if Lisa came to that.
I think we just identify the person.
I think we take it out. If we don't know who was there, then.
Okay.
can we take it out and then check? You can check your
Yeah, we can.
check your notes, and if we need to amend it, we will.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Okay.
So
So so move for approval minus the blank.
we have a motion, a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried. Minutes are approved as mentioned. I would note James Wester is not in attendance today. Okay, second item is to discuss the future of Amarillo Foundation for Education and Business, AFAB. This item is placed on the agenda so the board may discuss the future of AFAB. So my thoughts are that we as a college established this for purpose of trying to create the most economic value for the asset that we have. And that was the purpose of the entity. And as far as I'm concerned, we still need an entity that can perform the function of what AFAB has been doing. So I throw that out for discussion, but you're welcome to respond or make comments, any of you.
Can I just ask for clarity, because just for help my memory. So at our last meeting, we ceased to exist with a contract. Is that what changed?
The corporation did not cease to exist.
Okay.
Right.
The corporation has nothing to do because it
We don't have
only
a contract.
existed to perform a development agreement that went by its own terms away. Okay.
Okay.
So AFAB is just a corporation that's sitting there with no purpose, no contracts, nothing to do. And it's been that
And
way
in
for
order-
a number of years.
And since 22. So in order to start doing anything again, we would have to renegotiate a new contract with whoever.
But yes, I think that's right. Is it?
Yes.
I mean, Alan, you know this as well as anybody, and the history too. So
Sure.
you can give us any insight into that as well. But Is that a fair representation, kind of where we basically have an entity that was established for purposes that are advantageous to the college, and it had created this contract that is no longer, I guess, no longer in effect. And so it's just an entity and that was part of my purpose, was to make sure that we continued the entity and don't lose that. So, because I feel like it is an opportunity, or it does give us a vehicle for, I guess, the best use of creating value out there.
And that contract was with, remind me the name of the ordinance.
Prana.
Prana,
That
that's
was,
right.
yeah, that was the Prana contract.
So to go back into creating this activity, would we have to go to bid and say, open it up for just contract with whoever wants to come forward or not?
No, I don't.
Or is
think-
this specific to?
We wouldn't have to go out for bid for who could contract
Okay.
with this, no.
So the last meeting was in 2022. When did the contract expire?
I think
Probably about then.
I think it was like the end of August. I think it had just, or maybe right after this.
Yeah. And so
It expired simply because not enough sales were made to meet the benchmark. I don't have it in front of me about when it expired, but it's been a couple of years,
Mhm.
quite a few years. Yeah.
So then that, I think too, that's part of just the discussion. And if I flip flopped it, I apologize as far as which came first, chicken or the egg. But as far as like establishing as AFAB as a committee, do we want to continue as a committee? And then if so, then that being something that we work on a new contract that would then go to the overall Board of Regents board to talk about and approve, versus whether that would have happened first before this meeting. But that's why I thought it was a step towards figuring out how we move forward.
Well, and Emerald College had a contract with AFAB, and then AFAB had a contract with Prana.
Okay, gotcha.
And I don't think we're contemplating the second contract at this point. It would just be the first contract between the college and AFib.
Yeah. Which I assumed, I mean, I've been assuming all along that we've just continued that as far as an entity that's been created for us to use as the board sees fit.
So what happened as far as there hadn't been meetings for a while? I'm guessing just there
There's not been.
so that was really the reason.
There's no activity.
Thank you. No,
And
yeah.
there was no activity as far as potential opportunities. There were a whole lot of I mean, COVID happened during all this time, and really pretty much everything, we've been working a lot of our own stuff bond wise, and considering moving things into town like the plan was to move a lot of stuff into the Albertsons building and so forth. So East Campus has just been, I'm going to say, dormant as far as any activity. And then I think with the new developments that are going on, I think that there's going to be I think there are currently opportunities, and I think there'll be a whole lot more that'll be coming, I believe.
So Alan,
Great.
to your point, it would not be a new contract. It would just be re-upping the old contract, is what you're saying? Because it went away.
Um,
Well, the contract with the college, between the college and AFAB, has not
The
been.
development agreement went away.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't ever even contemplate that we, needed to discuss the future of having AFAB as an entity, because I've assumed we've always had it. If we say we don't need it anymore, to me, we need it more today than we needed it 2 years ago when things were dormant. But I don't think you want to lose the opportunity of having something that's already been established for its original purpose. I think it's still a very valid entity.
And this is something that we can utilize as we do our facilities master plan that we're talking about as part of our strategic planning. And we get that information back and look at what opportunities that we have for East Campus.
Yeah.
Then as it's appropriate, that could then be occurring through AFEB.
Yes. What are we missing? Paul, are you?
I mean, to me, it's obvious to me, AFAB still exists, and what we need to do with new opportunities is see, are there any new contracts that we need to develop to further any of those partnerships to bring about business? And one question I'd have is, does it have to be only on the East Campus that AFAB, is that designated only as that? Or if we have other areas for development, is AFAB able to use those other parts of the city? I mean, we're not tied to one spot, are we?
I have to go back and look at all those contracts, but probably it is tied.
Yeah, I think
As
an entity AFAB is, or Prana?
well, we're talking about section 272 of the local government code, and its requirement is that a entity have land that it wants developed.
But if we have 4 campuses, it could really include any of our 4 campuses. It doesn't have to be one specific campus, right?
Land that the college wants developed is what it can ask this committee to work on.
So if we wanted to develop something somewhere else, we can do it. It doesn't just have to be just on East Campus.
Yes.
well, we think.
We think.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to go look at the documents, but he's right that the AFEB exists to develop land that we want developed according to our specifications. But I'd want to go look at those documents to make sure there's nothing in there that ties it just to this property.
Oh, that contract ties it to this property.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question would be expanding,
we
adding
would have to
land.
re-lawyer the thing,
The
a
AFAB
lot of new
contract or
documents.
anything we had with Prana?
Well, Prana's gone.
Right.
And
The AFAB, the one we have currently, ties us only to the East Campus? Okay.
It just based, what I heard was just any land we want
Okay,
developed.
that's what I want to make sure.
but that's at the
At the
junior
high level.
college district level.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've had
My backyard developed.
I've had an additional experience. Some of y'all know we represent 170 school districts, and they are also subject to this statute. And we had a district that entered into a letter of intent with a convenience store, had the letter of intent signed, and they went to bid, and the convenience store did not respond. And they said, "What's up?" And they said, "We're not going to conduct business in public that way. We're not going to let all our competitors know what we paid for that." And I said, "Well, guess we need to form an independent foundation." And we're signing the paperwork on that sale today. Closing it, not the contract, we're closing it. So that public bidding can get in the college's way, in my opinion. And that's why we suggested this. Dr. Connor, I had a real estate partner who's now deceased, and I walked in his office one day and in probably 2012, and I said, "Come on, Joe Bob, I need a deal." And he said, "Let's buy the airbase." And that's where we have 2 contracts. Our group still has the east ramp, and there are 5 98,000 square foot hangars there
Okay.
that we sublease that we lease and then sublease to others. And my partners are Doc Rogers, he and David Schaefer. They are both significant WT backers, and Kathy Cornett and Pedro Cunha and James Wester are who's in that group.
Oh, and we just saw at the philanthropy luncheon today.
Did, didn't we?
Rogers lead WT.
Shaft and
Yep.
Shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just saw that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay, so we're talking about the future as far as this item is concerned. Is there any more discussion around the future of AFAB as far as whether it continues as an, I mean, what I was hearing from you, Mark, was we didn't know whether we were really going to continue with AFAB. And I've never even thought that that was even a consideration. Now, if it is and we need to go back to our board and do that, then we can. But I've just always assumed we want to keep the entity.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything in AFABs that says we have to renew the entity itself? I mean, it exists until the board decides it doesn't, is in my opinion.
I
I
would
mean,
think
the
so as well.
contracts with them obviously term.
Yeah.
But I don't know why the entity would term for any reason.
Well, and two, as I've been coming in new and I'm trying to get up to speed on all of it, and there were some questions on, oh, had it been dismantled? Like, was it actually ended at the board level, which we couldn't find anything on? And then you have the contract. And so, and then there's been conversation now that there's some interest in some opportunities. And so it was just kind of like well, let's actually make a statement. Let's talk about it to say, okay, yes, we haven't met in a while. Do we want to have this move forward? Because then obviously some of the next steps would be then having a new contract would then go. So just starting to, how do we best move this forward? And that's when it kind of seemed like, well, let's have a meeting to talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we still have an entity. I would like, I mean, I feel like from a college perspective, we need to at least understand what's being thrown at us. And for us to be able to even have that discussion, I think we need to go into closed session so that we can discuss specific either offers and or I guess just real estate items in general. So, Mark, what wording do we need to have to do that other than just, I mean, it's just.
Calling into closed session under 071 for real estate and lease discussions.
Okay. And so can we do, and you've got in here under the Texas Government Code, Title 5, Chapter 551, is that,
Yes. 551.071.
okay, you didn't give me the other.
Oh,
but
sorry, I didn't know I
let's
didn't
just
think we
assume.
were going to be doing it.
Okay.
So,
Well, so I would like to go ahead. I think it's, any other discussion we need to do before we go into closed session? Okay, then I'll like to convene and move into closed session, and no decisions will be made, but we need to discuss some matters that are appropriate underneath this statute. Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. We are coming out of closed session, and so I will affirm that it is 4:33, and we are now back in open session. And there were no decisions made in closed session. And with that, I'll move to item 3, which is adjournment.
Move for adjournment.
Thank you, Annette. We have a motion. Second from
Second.
Paul. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, this means adjourned. Thanks, everyone.